variables that are very, very important for this panel, okay? So clearly we've got a ton of people out here. There's no way that all the questions that want to get asked are going to get asked. Steph, once we get to the questions, she's going to be the one with the mic. All right? She's only going to be able to get to a couple of you. She's actually going to pre-screen questions so that way we make sure that the questions that you guys ask are only questions that we're allowing. Okay? So here's the thing I want to ask you guys. If you've seen the movie, raise your hand. Okay, now you guys that have seen it, put your hands down. Who has not seen the movie? Okay, you guys leave your hands up for a second, okay? The people who raise your hands first, I want you to look around at those that have not seen the movie yet. Out of respect to the individuals that have their hands up right now, we are trying to keep this spoiler-free. So let's show respect to these people. This panel, hear what I'm saying when I say this, is all about positivity and all about these actors and actresses that are going to be coming up on the stage. That is all we're going to tolerate is positivity and showing praise for these awesome actors, actresses, and stuntmen. All right? You guys feel me? All right, with that being said, Steph, we'll go back down and do your thing. All right. You know what? I forgot my water on my phone over there. So, all right, you know what? Without even giving you the names, I'm going to bring them all out here on stage right now. Can you guys make some incredible noise for Scream 7? You know what? Hold on. Hey, Jeremy. My bad. This is supposed to be my chair. This is going to be your chair. Hey, guys. We have this plan. All right, so across the stage, we've got Sam Rector. We've got Celeste O'Connor. We've got McKenna Grace. We've got Spencer Charnas. We've got Jeremy Connor. We've got Noah Merritt, all from Scream 7. All right, so we're going to start at a little weird spot, but it's going to be a fun one. So McKenna and Celeste, this is not your first rodeo. It's Scream 7 is not the first time you guys have been on set together. You guys did a movie called Ghostbusters. So my question for you is this. Did either of you help the other one to get cast in this movie, or did it just happen by chance that you guys both went from Ghostbusters to Scream?
It totally happened by chance, guys.
Yeah.
It was very spontaneous.
It was very exciting to get on set and be together again.
I know, I literally had no idea. I saw the announcement that McKenna was in Scream and I literally immediately called her. I was like, McKenna, what? We're back in action.
We were like, who are you playing? And I was like, I don't know, because I didn't know who I was playing at the time. So it was very exciting to get there and to find out that we were playing best friends.
So Ethan, my man, talk about some perseverance. Ethan actually auditioned for Scream 30 years ago.
I did. I can't remember if I auditioned for Kennedy's or Lillard's. I can't remember which one it was. I'm gonna guess it was probably for Kennedy.
So think about how long ago it was, man. Talk about some persistence.
It was 30 years ago.
The man never gave up, and here he is on a stage at Scaradise.
I was absolutely thrilled to get invited. And like our two friends here, I had no idea what I was doing, and my first answer was yes.
So Sam, this is your first convention experience? So tell us what it's like for you to be at your very first convention experience ever. And this is the crowd you're going to be in front of for experience number one. How's it feel now?
It sounds like a pretty damn good crowd, doesn't it? Yeah. Well, let's hear it for the people up the top.
All right!
No, it's amazing to be here. It's an amazing experience, the first one, and what a group of people to build with as well, right?
So we're gonna come back to McKenna now because McKenna, you and that guy sitting right near you, you guys happen to be you and Spencer Charnas from Ice Nine Kills. Have you guys heard of that band? You guys just put out an absolutely kick-ass new song called Twisting the Knife. Why don't the two of you guys walk us through Twisting the Knife?
I feel like you're going to be better at explaining the song than I am because you're like the musical genius, but I'm a very big Ice Nine Kills fan.
How amazing is her voice on that song, right? So, when I was 11 years old, I was actually in Florida, and I was on the beach, and my aunt came up to me and she said, "There's this movie called Scream, and people are saying it's scarier than Halloween." And I went, "Oh my God, I need to see this." So my cousin Brandon and I went to see it that night. We're both 11 years old, and we were already big fans of Friday the 13th and Halloween. And we went into the theater, and as soon as the killer started talking about Friday the 13th and Michael Myers, I turned to my cousin Brandon and I was like, "Dude, this is gonna be my favorite movie of all time." And so 30 years later, to be up with this very talented group of people and have a song in the film is absolutely incredible. It's an honor. Basically, we knew that Scream 7 was in production and we were fans of McKenna. I had loved her in a movie called I, Tonya, when she played little Margot Robbie. So we wrote the song, we connected with her people, we pitched it to her. She came over the house to the studio where, funny enough, I'm a big horror nerd. I own one of the knives from the original Scream. So she came over and she absolutely nailed it. Beautiful voice, and we worked on some lyrics with you, and it was incredible. And I'm so honored that they used it in the movie. I'm just incredibly honored to be here.
We're very happy that Kevin likes it.
Yes.
All right, so we're gonna go down all the way to the end down there. So there's two faces at the end that you guys might not be familiar with, and that's Noah Garrett and Jeremy Cobb. So the two of them were responsible with putting together the actual ghost face scenes for the movie. So Jeremy and Noah, why don't you guys talk about what it was like to craft Ghostface and what it was like to actually act out Ghostface?
Well, thank you very much. So for Scream 7, I was brought in to be the fight coordinator, so I was in charge of designing the fight sequences themselves. So what you saw in the movie, Kevin is an incredible writer himself, doing the Vampire series as well as the Scream series itself. But for the most part, he had an idea of what he was looking for. But Kevin is such a team player that he really allows his departments to be able to figure out their side of things, and he's just such a team player. So it was really easy to be able to send ideas his way, collaborate and all that, but we had a lot of fun doing something called previs, where we would shoot the action ahead of time, and then from there be able to get things greenlit or not. And so, yeah, that's kind of how we ran things, is we would just shoot it ahead of time, see if Kevin was about it, and then we would move forward with the action to make sure it matched the tone of the script.
For me, I got called about a week before shooting, and they were looking for a specific body structure for Ghostface. And so having specific structure. But yeah, so Noah and Jennifer Badger was the stunt coordinator they called, and she says, "I have a week for you. We'll bring you in. If Kevin likes you, we'll go for a couple of months. If not, then we'll move on." And so it was kind of a big shoe to try to step into to make sure I did everything like they wanted it to look. But Jennifer Badger, who was the stunt coordinator, and Noah had a really good sense of what he was looking for. Let me know. I watched all the Screams immediately right before I went in, just to take notes on the progression of the different ghost faces as they progress. They're a little different if you watch the movies 1 through 6. And so I kind of got with them and got with Kevin and asked what they were looking for, what were the callbacks, what did they, what were the intents, and then just tried to fulfill that idea. Sometimes I would do stuff in the suit, and they would go, "Don't ever do that again. That doesn't look right at all." And then sometimes you just hit it and it works. So I had a blast doing it. When I saw the edit, it all came together really well. And I had fun.
You guys did a great job.
Thank you. Also, Spencer Spencer was really nice enough to call me out to the Ghostface you see in the Ice Nine Kills video is also, I got to go play it.
So that's a great segue because that's exactly where we were going to go next. So the Twisting the Knife video, do you guys know that there's actually 2 parts to that video? So in that video, Spencer has got a lot of cameos from a lot of Ghostface alumni. So Spencer, talk about the process of putting together the video, and then I have a very specific question for you about the video itself.
It was an amazing experience. We always love having cameos in our videos. If you've seen ones in the past, we have the very talented Matt Lillard in our video for Laugh Track, where he plays himself. And it segued perfectly into the Twisting the Knife video. We had David Arquette, give it up for David, playing himself, directing the Twisting the Knife video. And we had, of course, the backbone of Ghostface, Roger L. Jackson, doing the voice. And then we had another interesting cameo in the video. Probably a lot of you guys are too young to know who the Jerky Boys are. But in the 90s, the Jerky Boys were the kings of prank phone calls, and they had all these different characters. And I thought, wow, wouldn't it be so amazing if we got the Jerky Boys on the phone with Ghostface? So I love it, you love that. So Johnny Brennan, all right, you get it. It's a metaphor, Ethan. So we got the guy that created the Jerky Boys. His character, one of his famous characters, is Frank Rizzo, and he's also Mort Goldman on Family Guy. And just getting those 2 guys together and the synergy on set, and they were amazing. And David Arquette, who's such a great actor and a great improviser, he came up with the line, Johnny asked him, why are you directing this video? And David goes, because I'm a huge fan of 9 Inch Kills. And I was like, okay, we're keeping that. And that was just an amazing experience. And McKenna, you were amazing in it. You want to talk a little bit about it? Say hello.
Hi. It was very fun getting to work with Jeremy again in his little green suit. It was fun because yes, he played Ghostface, but also I was wearing very high heels, and I got to set, and they had these like scary stairs that I had to walk down that were knives. And so Jeremy gets in like this tight green suit and helps me down the stairs all day. It was great.
And I did not wear high heels in the video, if you look close.
So Spencer, there's a guy in the video named Dingwall, is that his name?
Are you talking about Digbar?
Digbar.
Yeah.
Who is it that allowed my man, the drummer of Ice Nine Kills, Michael Cortana? How is it that he was the one who got the short straw that got a punch out Dingbar?
Well, a very talented special effects makeup artist who worked on the video, Christopher Nelson. He introduced us to Digbar. Digbar is a very interesting character. He's a disgraced opera singer as well as a zero-time Academy Award-winning actor. And I don't know, he just looked like he had that punchable face, and as you know, Mike Cortada's got a hell of a right hook, and I guess Digbar he went too far. And he got knocked the F out, I guess, as Chris Tucker would say.
All right, so this is the question you all can answer, but we're going to start with Ethan and allow him to answer this one. So this is the first group panel in the world, if I'm not mistaken, for Scream 7 after the full release.
Yeah,
how cool is that? You guys got
a huge party we weren't invited to.
So how is it for you guys now? You've had all of this build up, and there's still some things you can't talk about on this panel, but how is it that you guys now at least get to start talking about it and celebrating the fact that you put all this hard work into this movie, and now it's out, and it's had a huge premiere, and you guys get to be up here talking about this movie with the fans. How does it feel for you guys to finally have that release to talk about this movie with all these great people?
So first when they invited me to do it, it came out of nowhere. And like I said, my first response was yes. I was so excited. I had no idea what I was doing until I showed up to work. And then as things were revealed to me, I still didn't let myself fully believe until Wednesday when we watched it at the premiere. Because you just don't want to get excited. Things change in this business all the time. And it's such a high, it's such a privilege to be invited to join this group. His sense of self-protection. I'm like, nope, I did my job, I went home, I'm not gonna believe it. Little kids were knocking on my door dressed up as, you know, the ghost face guy for Halloween, and I'm like, nope, not even thinking about it. And then on Wednesday, I got to see it, and it's like everything is just more and more surreal. It's really quite a treat. So.
I've been watching this guy's movie since I was a little kid. Empire Records, Can't Hardly Wait, That Thing You Do. So to be up here with you, buddy, is an honor.
Personally, I love Devil's Candy.
She told me her dad showed her devil's candy. Maybe that's a little more obscure. Like, I mean, there might be more Satanists in this room than I think.
So Celeste, Sam, how do you guys feel about finally being able to share your experience in this movie with a crowd like this?
I'm thrilled. It's so exciting to be a part of such an iconic franchise, and as like, you know, a young artist, like I don't get the opportunity to like, you know, be in these spaces so often, and so it feels really, really special, and it's like such an honor. So I'm just happy to be here with all of you guys.
Yeah, it's what, 30 years of history as well, and to see how many people come out and are excited by this franchise, it's so meaningful and impactful for us. So with what Ethan was saying as well, it's you don't know how things are just going to chop and change constantly, and you don't know what the end product's going to be until you see it on that Wednesday, on that Thursday. So when it comes out, you know, just over the weekend, it's like it's hard to know what to talk about, hard to know how to talk about the film, because we don't want to give things away. But yeah, as Ethan says, it's super exciting, but I don't want to put that energy and that excitement out in a way that's not revealing anything. So yeah, cool.
So you talked about the history and the legacy. So this show is very interesting in the fact that we've got a 30-year Scream reunion, a 15-year Scream 4 reunion, and the debut of Scream 7 all happening at the same time. I will say the Scream franchise to me is very similar to Star Wars in this way. Every time I do an interview with someone that's in Star Wars, whether it's the video game, whether it's a movie, they feel like they've gotten to the pinnacle of that science fiction area. And they feel like they're a part of a family that can never be broken. You guys are here with probably about 10 other people from Scream and Scream 4 and Scream 5 and Scream 6. Do you feel like you guys are all a part of that family? You guys have now entered into that family with them, seeing people that came before you in these other films that are here at the show. How has your experience been like seeing Matthew Lillard or Steve Ulrich or you know, any of the others that are out there?
Yeah, I'm going to butt in with it before everyone else has something more articulate to say after, but just hearing what you're saying there and saying all those statistics, I feel like a school student that hasn't done their homework, so thank you for saying all that. But what you're saying with that, when we got to the premiere, we see these Matthew Lillards and these David Arquettes and working with Nev, working with Courtney Cox, it's like, I'm, you know, speaking personally, a small piece working into a massive history of 30 so years. It's crazy to just be a small piece of that, but these veterans in this franchise, and these Star Wars franchises, not that I've been in that, but they're so welcoming and so open arms to a younger group of people, a new generation of actors to come in, and you feel immediately a part of that family. Yeah, pretty special.
Anybody else want to comment on that? Because I'm sure that you all have your thoughts.
I remember I saw a couple of our legacy actors between when we shot and the movie came out, like late last year. We were at a convention, and it was a 90s convention, so a few of them were there. And the first thing they said to me was, oh, hey, welcome to the family, because it was right after they said that I was a part of. And they're just so welcoming, they're so inviting. And it, like, you feel that on set. That's one of the first things I noticed when I was working, is how welcoming Nev is. Like, just warm and inviting. And it continues throughout the entire cast. It's really quite a lovely group to be invited to be a part of.
What about you, McKenna and Celeste? We're going to go to you guys next then.
Yeah, I feel like I've been really lucky and like have had a similar experience on Ghostbusters, and like we both have had that experience on Ghostbusters where we were like totally welcomed by like Bill and Dan and Ernie, and so then when we got to Scream, we had that same experience with Nev and Courtney, and I just feel really lucky to have that experience. Especially with you, McKenna.
It was very fun to get to be back together again. But for me, I have, 2 or 3 years ago at one of these conventions, I snuck into the screencast photo op with everybody, with David, and Neb, and Matt, and Ski, and so I have this picture of me just as a fan with all of them, and I know Matt and Ski because I have, I'm like a fan, I've just followed them around these conventions and taken pictures with them for the past 2 or 3 years now, and I remember I was talking to Matt after he did Five Nights, and I was like, I'm secretly I'm going out for Scream right now, and he was like, tell them to bring me back, and I was like, well, I want to try and get the job first, but I'll definitely say that. And after I got it, he was one of the first people I told, and after I got Five Nights, he was one of the first people I told, and then now with Scooby-Doo, he was honestly the first person, other than the people very closest to me that I told. I pulled up to the side of Kevin's house and I was like, I'm gonna do Scooby-Doo, and so it's having that kind of relationship with these actors that I've been such a fan of for all of these years and been following around these conventions just as a fan is so cool now to be a part of these same families. And it's honestly, I feel like I'm treated the same way I was before we were co-workers. It always felt like they've had this very familial feeling towards everyone around them. I think that Matt, especially because I've talked to him the most out of everyone, always has a really special way of making everybody feel special and seen and like family.
You do that too. Jenna makes these amazing movies with her moment in school, and she sets the family tone as well.
So Noah and Jeremy, you guys, not only are you guys going to be a part of the Scream and the Ghostface family, but you guys also have a whole different kind of relationship because not only is it Ghostface, it's you're a part of horror icons, Ghostface, Michael Myers, Jason. What is it when you guys see what has come before you?
He was also in Tusk. Sorry, I found that out yesterday and I thought that was crazy. Sorry.
When you see all of these actors and choreographers that came before you in Scream or came before you in other films, what is it that you guys try to not only take into the role to show an homage to that, but also to take it to the next step so people can say, hey, we brought something new to the role while still being true to the role?
Well, to start off, because Jennifer Badger is not here with us, she was the stunt coordinator for 7, but from a legacy standpoint, what was incredible for Jennifer Badger, she was a part of the franchise, doubling Ned, everybody for the longest time. So for her to be able to go from doubling all the actors throughout the years for the franchise to becoming the stunt coordinator to be able to work with Kevin directly was definitely a full circle moment for her. So that in its own is just amazing. But being able to join the legacy for myself as well, you want to honor the legacy and the action design that was before, but also trying to figure out where is the universe going to go later on. So we keep in mind what the fans like to see and where the progression is going, because we want to honor things, but we also want to find what is next and keep pushing forward.
It's sort of not, the first surreal moment I had was, I guess a couple months before the movie came out, the internet, the social media stuff started hitting. And I saw a clip of me walking away from the house when it's lit up. And then I saw a clip of 4 other iconic villains walking away from a fire when it was lit up. And I was just one of those icons. And I was like, oh my gosh.
You want your
It's iconic. I'm part of that. And you just sit, you just can't believe that you've seen this stuff your whole career growing up, or even before Claire started as a teenager growing up in these horror worlds, and then you're part of it. And it's but yeah, as far as bringing new stuff to it, it's in respect. I just want to bring from an action perspective, just bring the intensity, bring the passion, the action out. So I feel like this movie particularly, the action takes you on the ride, and it's a roller coaster ride. Sometimes it's really heavy, sometimes it slacks off, and then it comes back heavy. And I think telling a story with your action, not just doing action for action's sake, continuing to tell the story with the non-verbal dialogue of action is the route that we as stunt performers want to take. That's our medium. And so the way we can do that is just pay attention to your storylines, be innovative in your techniques, and keep it competitive.
They told a story with a beer can.
Also, though, I'd like to point out, like, you guys, you're not small guys, but you're not Arnold Schwarzenegger, right? You're not huge guys, but when you see this movie, the presence that you guys bring is so huge and like monstrously godlike, and that's a testament to how you guys play that role. So kudos to you guys.
All right, so we're gonna see if you guys are gonna behave, which you guys have always been great. But I'm just saying, I'm reiterating about the fact that we want no spoilers at all. So Steph, where are you at? Steph has got the mic. So Steph is gonna find a couple, we're gonna do a couple of questions first. And so Steph finds somebody, and she's gonna ask you your name. She's gonna hold the mic, and you guys are gonna be able to ask a question. Yep, your mic's on.
We're going to start this off positive with Barbara. Because I know she's not going to ask a spoiler. I don't even have to ask what the question is.
Barbara, what's your positive question?
Hi, my name is Barbara, and this is for Jeremy and Noah. You get up on screen and we don't see your face, we don't see your body, it's hidden behind a robe. But you guys must be in peak physical conditions. So can you tell us a little bit about about what kind of exercise regime you have?
So 17 hours. For me, you know, because we demand so much out of our body, we try to stay physical every day. We're training to take damage, we're training for technique, we're training to be able to explode out like stuff. And that's it's changed me over the years. I'm 26 years into the business, and when I used to work out, it was just go hard all the time, and it was fine. And rebounded. Now I don't rebound like I used to. I can still take all the damage. I just don't get up the next day the same. So I tend to. I've backed off. I try to do something every day. That's the goal. But I try to do less every day and maintain a consistent. So if I just do stuff consistently, I stay in pretty good shape. It just doesn't have to be 100 miles an hour all the time.
To piggyback off what he's saying, stunt people in general, they all come into the industry for some reason, and it's whatever background they started with, and then they expand from there. But for me, as a martial artist and competing over the years, for me, I just stay on top of my martial arts, and then I build from there with other things that are required in the stunt industry. But to your point, we just gotta stay on it. We gotta just make sure our bodies are okay for the next role, whether it's rehab, whether it's conditioning. And also, depending on who you're doubling, you just got to make sure that your body matches who that person is and what the needs are for the tone of the film. So we just got to stay on top of that and just stay healthy.
All right, so I see Snipples made it back to the far right.
We have Miss Sophia here.
I have questions for McKenna and what it's like getting to go from making your own personal music, like you were in Nirvana and Bittersweet 16, to going to make music for such a large franchise like Scream.
Well, you know what? Hi. What's always very exciting for me is that, well, like I have so many demos, I have so many songs done and ready, but it's like I have been filming and working and acting for so long now that tends to take priority sometimes, and so I haven't been able to get my own music out there in so long, but a really cool opportunity that I always bring up when I'm on set is I'm probably going to be pitching you guys a song at some point or another, because you know it's such an honor to get to be a part of these things as an actor, but then also to have my music to be a part of it. Feels like a much more personal, creative outlet. So it's always very exciting, and it's also a nice way for me to get music out there while I'm working. And you know, I mean, the first time I did this was with Ghostbusters, was the first song I ever released. I did the end credits, which was crazy. And then I did about 3 songs for this independent film I did a while ago called What We Hide. And then, you know, I hadn't done anything like that with, you know, another band or artist, much less a band and artist that I'm such a big fan of. So not only getting to do something for Scream was insane as an actor, then also putting music in it, then also working with somebody that I'm like think is so cool, so it's like crazy to me.
All right, good stuff. So Steph's over here, stage left. Who you got over there, Steph?
This is Marcus, right?
My question is for Ethan. You mentioned that 30 years ago for the original Scream, that you can't remember which role that you auditioned for, whether it was Jamie Kennedy as Randy or Matthew as Stu. My question for you is, which one would you have rather played if you got the choice?
Oh man, that's an impossible answer. You know, because like the invite is where it's at. It's just being invited. Because when I read it, I immediately fell in love with it. Because to me, the thing that makes this so special, it's a lot like what you were saying. It's self-aware. It knows that it's a film. But it takes it seriously at the same time. Like it doesn't know that it's a film, but it's aware of the tropes of horror filmmaking. It's like self-aware. It's meta. And when I first saw it, when I first read it, that immediately stood out. And of course, the people involved in the original. I'm an originalist. Like that thing is incredible. It's like a great film. I'm just stoked to be here.
All right, good stuff. Steps made it right here to the middle, right here to the side. All right, so what's our name?
Randy, I was going to ask what your favorite kill is, obviously with the exclusion of 7 because people haven't seen it. So what's your favorite kill in the whole franchise minus 7?
Favorite kill 1 through 6.
For all of us?
Yeah, for all you, what's your favorite kill 1 through 6? Cannot talk about 7.
I mean, excluding the Drew, I mean, you can't really top the Drew Barrymore kill. I mean, that's one of the most iconic kills in cinema history.
What about the Dewey kill? That was pretty.
Man.
That fucking hurt, man.
If you say
right?
that's your favorite, then that's messed up.
That shit hurt.
Sorry, David. Other than that one, I mean, I'm a big Rose McGowan fan, and I like when Ghostface or any killer uses something that's not a weapon and makes it a force of death. And the idea of someone dying by trying to crawl through a doggy door in a garage is so twistedly brilliant that probably that's my favorite kill other than Drew. And there's one in the new one that might be in my top 3 actually. So
There's like 3 in the new one.
insane.
Well, we'll talk about that next year.
Spoiler alert, there are kills in Scream 7. Just want to put that out there.
Just breaking the rules down there. Anybody else have anything you want to chime in on?
I have to say that it's 6 when he comes up behind the guy trying to get in the car and he just pops him in the neck real fast. It reminded me of Troy with Brad Pitt when he does the big dude at the beginning and he just runs up, pow! And I was like, yeah, it's like the subtleness of it.
Was that the first kill in the city?
Yeah,
that
the
was
car.
my favorite too.
He just pops him in the neck, the guy falls down, he hits him a couple of times after that, but that first shot to the neck, you just don't see it coming. It's quick, it's fast, it's efficient.
Quick and sexy.
I thought that the kill, it's either 5 or 6 whenever she's climbing across the ladder and her stomach is cut. That grossed me out so bad. I thought it was going to end a lot worse than it did. And I was like, okay, I guess I'm glad that she fell off instead of it ending up worse. But also what got me was it's either in the beginning of 5 or 6, you're following the killer and he goes and gets Samara Weaving, which was a great kill, but then it's like you think you're following Ghostface and then he takes off his mask and then he gets killed. And I thought that was very fun and genius.
All right, steps over here, stage right again.
We have Kendall. My question is, how has the dynamic between the returning cast members and the new additions evolved over the course of filming?
So how did the veterans bring the rookies in and make them feel welcome on the set of Scream?
Dinners.
Dinners.
A lot of initiations. Dinners.
That was the sweetest. She was like, take my number if you ever need anything.
We went to the 70s, 80s, just go to my bar one night. Look at that. Yeah.
Ethan, were you like, I'm not a rookie, darn it. I tried out 30 years ago. I'm a vet.
No, I was a rookie. I was the new kid at school. And they were very welcoming. I didn't eat lunch alone, you know. It was really nice.
All right, so where are you at, Steph? So
I'm right here. Do we have time for one more though?
We're gonna try to get one more. So obviously there's no way we can get to all the questions. We do have a hard stop at the end of the panel. I'll be one question. So I guess this is gonna be the last question.
It's gonna have to be somebody easy to get to. So.
Oh, here we go.
All the pressure's on.
Hi, my name is Charlie. My question is, what's your favorite Scream movie that's not 7?
What's your favorite Scream movie that's not the one that you're
The original has to be.
Yeah, agreed.
Everybody's gonna say the original. You gotta pick one other than the original.
Other than 1 and 7.
Because everybody's gonna pick the original. I liked 3 with Courtney Cox's little micro bangs. I thought that
Yes, the bangs, that's right.
The micro bangs.
That's right. They look like Mark in Empire Records, like real shit.
There was a darkness to part 4 that I think was like underrated and overlooked. The disemboweling scene in the room, pretty cool.
4 is definitely my favorite for sure. It was great. All right, so here's a question I have to end the panel for each one of you guys, because I feel like every one of you can answer this question. You know what it was like to be brought into the Scream 7 world, even Spencer, because even though you're not in the movie, so to speak, you're a part of the movie.
Maybe I am. No spoilers, you said, right?
Oh, you're right. You're definitely in the movie. You're definitely in the music video. So, each of you have a friend that is not a part of the franchise yet. If you could recommend someone who's a friend of yours in the acting world to be a part of Scream 8, to become a part of your family in Scream, who would you recommend to become a part of this franchise? Who do you want to see brought into the family of Scream that's in your circle?
Samuel Jackson.
Will Ferrell.
Will Ferrell.
Wait, you know Will Ferrell?
He's my neighbor.
Dude.
Anybody else have any other friends?
Maybe if someone from this, like who's at this con, an actor from this con, I would say Rowan. Shout out to my boy Rowan.
Rowan's awesome. Yes.
He was amazing in Halloween Ends and Silent Night, Deadly Night. He'd be awesome.
Yeah, you guys know Ty's symptoms. He'd be great.
I would have to bring in Catherine Newton from Freaky.
I can't think of a specific cast member, but I have had a recent fantasy where Scream 8 is actually a stab movie. Like the whole movie it's just stab. Right? Yeah.
All right, so we have had a great time. I know some of you guys are going to be going to the showing with Matthew Lillard tonight. I can't wait for you that have not seen the movie to be able to see it. So one of the things that we do at Scaradise, which is one of our traditions, everybody on this stage, as you just hear him say Corey, so our show photographer's name's Corey. So in your best scary movie voice, we all need to summon Corey so we can come up here and take a picture on the other side with this awesome crowd. So you guys ready? On the count of 3, we need you guys to summon Corey. Are you ready? 1, 2, 3. Corey! So you guys, let's give a massive round of applause to Sarah Record, Celeste Connor, McKenna Grace, Spencer Charles, Ethan Henry, Jeremy Connor, and Billy Barrett from Scream 7!